Welcome to the University Park Improvement District recorded meeting records. The board tried to delete these from the internet, claiming it cost too much to keep them saved on Zoom, so now they are here uploaded for free on YouTube. Meet the board members: James Slaymaker, the lying hypocrite; Joanne Zahner, who joined the board because she was upset her neighbor had more cars than her; and Sarah Dole, who agrees with them that it should be illegal for women to be topless.
Did you see
Okay, University Park Board meeting December 10th, 2024. It is 7 o'clock at the clubhouse, and there's people present, and we got a Zoom meeting too. So notice all attendees will need to state their first and last name on the sign-in sheet or have their first and last name displayed on the Zoom meetings. This is for proper record keeping of the UP public meetings. If your first and last name is not displayed properly, you can provide it in the chat or speak it aloud at the start of the meeting. If your first and last name has not been recorded by 5 minutes at the start of the meeting, you will be removed from the Zoom. This meeting is being recorded, both the live and Zoom audiences, for future reference. Viewer discretion is advised. To adhere to proper record keeping, the audio and visual recordings will stay active throughout all Zoom meetings. Call to order. Board members present are Sarah Dahl, Joanne Zahner, and James Slaymaker. Announcements. Thanks to Lauren Bryson and Joanne here for hosting the second annual Christmas tree harvest last Sunday. It was a fun day. They did some crafts in here, and we met some of the new neighbors, so it was nice. Santa showed. What's that? Then we had donuts. So anytime there's donuts, and Gilbert's made coffee, so it was a nice time. And there were some Christmas trees too, I think. It was donuts was the highlight. So executive sessions were held immediately following the November meeting on November 12th with James Slaymaker, Sarah Dahl, and Joanne Zahner in attendance to discuss legal proceedings. James Slaymaker and Joanne Zahner also met with the UPID lawyer, Joe Knopp, and Daniel Maple and her lawyer to discuss conciliatory terms on Friday, December 6th. We will discuss details of that meeting later in this discussion. So audience comments first here. So please stand and state your name. If you have any comments, please keep comments under 5 minutes. Be brief and respectful of the board and other community members. The audience will have the opportunity to take part in discussion of agenda items in the order they appear on the agenda. So any comments from the crowd here?
I've got some I should have tried to get hold of you.
Go ahead and say.
Agenda. Okay, Jim Jackson, I live on Rimrock, so I travel around the state quite a bit for work, and this last week I stopped in Arlington, Kansas. I don't know if anybody knows where Arlington is, out by Hutchinson, and I was talking to them, and they asked kind of where I was living now, and I told them, and they asked if I was familiar with the old Kansas Pride. They've kind of rebranded that to Kansas Empowerment, and there's different grants available for communities, and I kind of talked to them. Well, what Arlington did was they got money raised through the empowerment, community empowerment, and they actually do a golf cart drive-in theater, during the summertime. So she had one little pamphlet here. I'll let the board have it, and I was just gonna say, if no objections, I've kind of looked into that more, she said that the grants were about $1,000 and $2,000. She said it's not, you can't just build a swimming pool, but like Blue Rapids, the mural that was painted on the building up there, that was through that community empowerment. So if it's all right, I'd like to look into it more, but I wanted to make sure that sounded all right.
Please.
No, please, yeah, look into it. When we first got here, there was something going on where the community was applying for a grant every year. It was like $250. It was through State Farm or Farmers Insurance or something, so what was it?
It was through, Firewise is what.
This is different.
Oh,
This is
okay.
different. So anyway, I know they've done it before, for whatever, the COVID hit actually, and that was the end of it, so that'd be great. We appreciate you looking into it.
The Sonic Lodge and the Kansas Department of Commerce were the ones that kind of funded, so they did say that Leonardville and Riley apply for them quite a bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they have websites for the Louisville and like for Pride.
Yeah.
That is all like their community events are branded under that Pride program.
Yeah, see what's going on. Thank
Do
you.
a little more, yeah.
Anything else in the room?
I have a comment.
Yes.
Joanne Zahner, I don't know, we know Brian McNulty is on a podcast and did a wonderful job. What's that podcast called? Kansas Dust? Are you kidding? You were interviewed?
We taped it like 4 months ago. I don't remember.
Right, well, it's really interesting about Tuttle Creek Lake and what they're trying to do at Tuttle Creek Lake, but you did really well. You sounded very intelligent.
Sounded.
Sound
Sorry, I'm late.
is this evening.
Okay. Anything else in the room before, Sandra, we're doing comments from before we get into the meeting. Do you have any comments? General comment?
Happy about the sign.
Okay, thank you for your input. Okay, anything online? Oh, yes.
Did I get on the agenda?
Yes, we're gonna talk about those requests.
Oh,
It's on
yes,
there.
you're,
Yeah,
yeah,
Roger
that's-
that.
Are there any comments from the public online at this time? I see none.
Cool, all right, that closes that out. We're gonna approve approval of the November meeting minutes and financial reports. Any comments from up here first?
Just that last board meeting, we approved up to $200 in funds for the cedar tree harvest event. Those funds did not get spent until December, so there's nothing that shows up for that in the November report. That'll happen next month.
Anything in the crowd, room? Anything online? All right, do I hear a motion to approve the November meeting minutes and financial report?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes and financial report.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I,
Both November meeting minutes and financial report are approved. Thank you. Standing committee report. Boat ramp, John Cassidy.
Nothing new to report of any substance.
Okay. I did talk to John a little bit about the brush pile he's got stacked down there, and he intends, there's gonna be a plan to burn it later on. People are picking it over for firewood, which is good use of it, and that will happen later, so. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Golf course, Jeff Luna, is he online? I don't think,
Kim Luna is online. Kim, is Jeff with you?
oh well. I kind of know what he was doing. He was gonna drag the greens. He hadn't done it yet. He's got stuff going on, but you know, I know he's got that on his list of things to do, so. Okay, welcome committee. So, Tony and Diva Crane and their two daughters, Emily and Natalie, they were welcomed and greeted. We got their information for the board did for notifications and emails and such. So they moved in this past October in the corner of Highview and Mountain Ridge, which is across from the flagpole, is where we're talking here. The shop and the detached shop from the house. And if you're interested, if you're interested in leading the welcome team, please contact the board. We really don't have anybody to be that one or two people to take charge of that. So they also came to the Christmas tree thing and did some arts and crafts in here. So I think she cleans houses also. I saw her post on
she does,
the
yes.
Facebook thing. So if anybody's looking for something, maybe, talk to her if you're interested. So anyway, welcome. Firewise. Carla Slaymaker submitted the annual report. She needs Firewise hours, from anyone that has done anything. And you can submit your hours for the next year. If you do any tree cuttings or brush clearing over the winter, just email the board. Thank you. Parks and Rec. Kurt is not here. He is at the Parks and Rec meeting tonight. So basically what's going on though is we had requested back in 23, I think, $32,000 for the pickleball basketball court. And they have funded a little bit, not a little bit, okay, they funded $18,000 over 2 years, that's not a little bit. But they never had enough to give us all of it. So he has requested the additional, $14,000 to get the funding for the pickleball, which will not be enough. I mean, that was the original quote way back when, He also requested $2,000 for stump grinding because we got stumps all over the course and it'd be nice to get them gone. So we'll see if they actually, have that kind of funds available. And if we can't get the stump grinding, you only get the pickleball court. But we're gonna need somebody to spearhead that. So be thinking, from the community. Come to the board, let us know if you're interested, if you got the skills to kind of manage it, you're not gonna pour concrete, we'll have concrete guy pour concrete, but just to coordinate the whole thing, so. Anyway, think about it. Sherman Township, Tracy Sabo,
And I'll go ahead and report.
thank you, Tracy.
Tracy, thank you, Joanne Zahner. I was at the meeting last night and, Randy is the person who's doing the road, and there were comments from people in the community that he did a much better job on the road this time, and Troy appreciated that because they pretty much get grief all the time. Troy wanted to let us know they will be tree trimming Briar Lane by the dump station this week. They call that an emergency tree trim versus a non-emergency tree trim. Briar Lane will be reassessed for future road work in the spring. Bayview Circle will also be reviewed later regarding the overgrown ditch on the north side. He will, and this is Tracy's idea, to get a snow plan, and they agreed. They will get us a snow plan sometime in December
What does that
after.
mean? I don't know what that means.
Let us know when they're gonna be out here. So if you see 2 inches or above,
Okay,
they'll be out here within so many hours. They're communicating with Riley County first. And they are buying a blade for a pickup truck, so they have more clearing options. They purchased a scarifier for the maintainer. That's also gonna help with some of the hard areas on our road.
what is that?
It's something that breaks up hard dirt.
Is it like the claws behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's, yeah,
He said it was pretty cool.
yeah, it breaks up thank you, Claus.
All right, thank you.
Lakeview and Redbud intersection is still under review. They are still exploring millings versus gravel. Mowing was completed in October and November, and they will assess tree trimming on need, and they'll start doing it every other year. Troy had mentioned they hadn't done it for 4 years, so no wonder we had such an issue. So every other year they'll assess that tree trimming, and that's it.
I'd say longer than 4. So question, when you say
Yeah.
they are evaluating that intersection, what does that mean evaluating? There's no camera, there's no tracker?
I
for-
think somebody's going to go out there and take a look at it and see if it needs yield signs, stop signs. Do they need to put up a camera? I think it's a way to say, we haven't done anything yet, but we are looking into it.
Because last time they had to do a whole study
Yeah.
and they had to
He
count
mentioned
cars
something
and
about a study and cost, but he said, I don't know what we're gonna do.
just put the sign in. They don't need to
Yeah,
study. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Let's see.
I'm reporting for golf course prairie management. If you would
Yeah.
like me.
Yes, Laura, go ahead.
Joanne Zahner, Laura said, thank you to all who came out for the Christmas tree harvest. Big thanks to Jim Bruner, who cut down a bunch of trees for them, or for the harvest. It was a lot of fun, and that's it.
All right. Any quick-
Really quickly online, going back to golf course, Jeff does not have any comments, winter's coming, it is what it is. Then Kim also said that the road Sherman Township people did not blade Rimrock the other day when they were out here.
Right, they only bladed some parts, Kim. I don't know how far. I know they bladed part of Rimrock. And I have no idea, and Tracy might be able to answer this, how they schedule anything. Do they only do a little part, like 50 feet, and then they go to another community? I'm not sure. And I should have asked that last night because I was curious too.
I mean, historically, they come out and then they do it all.
Do
They
it
can't get it
all.
done one day, they come back the next day and they finish
Yeah.
historically, but maybe things have changed now. They got a different guy. Okay, excuse me. So, equipment, Kurt's not here, but there's really nothing going on with the equipment. So we're good on that. Sewer Lagoon update. Latest map is posted on the University Park board website. And then Joanne, you got anything else from
No,
Evan?
nothing
Okay.
else.
Rental house management, search is still on hold for now. Firehouse building, so the site prep has begun. And Brian McNulty was here. I would like to discuss a couple things that he wants. Which are reasonable.
Wants? Wants is Brian McNulty, Battalion Chief for State 110 for Riley County Fire District, so. Just as I start at the top of my pager, there's that range. So the sub base was completed yesterday for the new fire station. And the stakes are out, identifying where the building footprint is. If you recall back when we signed all the agreements, the county agreed to relocate the potable water line that is within the footprint of the building. It still has not been relocated, so we thought we better touch base with you to see what your position was on that, since it's still a live line. My understanding is it just services the clubhouse building and a frostery here in the yard. So
Hold on, what was the second part and the what? You said it services
this building. the
and what?
clubhouse, A frost-free hydrant out in the yard somewhere, is that right?
I do not know of,
There's one out.
oh, the one out back here, I'm sorry,
For
yeah.
the animals, right, or for dog water?
Yeah, for the dog, right outside the building.
An
You're correct.
Outdoor hydrant.
Roger that, yep.
So, is there anything else that it services? Okay,
As far as we know, that is all it services. Once you cut it, you know, it gets cut, we may find out something different, but you know how it works.
so when they test dug, they determined that at least where the test hole was, it's not very deep. So there's a chance, a possibility, a high possibility that they could get into it, digging the footings for the building. Subgrade is obviously step one, and step two is starting theoretically tomorrow because they're gonna start digging for those footings. Best case scenario, they've identified where the water line is, and they hand dig around it in case the water line and concrete, it stays in service. And then when the county relocates the line, it just gets abandoned in place and becomes part of the foundation. Next best is they excavate the footings, they find the water line by hitting it, then we have to figure out how to shut it off, and then probably either repair or cap it, but cap it's probably at that point the option to do, and then wait for the line to get relocated. Or the third option, it's your water line, so if you don't want us to mess with it, that's your prerogative, but it would likely delay the project till next spring and probably drive the cost of the fire station up as well, so.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that. You know, the only thing is, that, you know, it makes sense to dig a hole, and if you don't hit it, then you just pour concrete, and then later on, they come out and they relocate it. You know, it's not gonna be, I know you wouldn't leave it underneath the footing, no one's gonna do that.
Yeah, it's only a 3/4 inch line, so they would, if it's in the profile of the footing.
Right, but it wouldn't
what I
be-
was told, they would dig in up close to it, hand dig around the water line, expose it, and then just basically envelope it in concrete at two locations where it passes through on the north side and passes through on the south side of the building.
Right, temporary though, the long-term solution is gonna be dug up and moved all the way around, so this is a temporary
Okay.
thing. Yeah, so let's make sure everybody's on the same page, I know you knew, but, so,
So the permanent water line, you were involved in that, I wasn't, but I've been given a description of it, so. You wanna explain that, or you want me to?
on, what's this now?
The replacement line,
You know, all I know is they're gonna loop it around the building once the building's in,
yeah.
basically, it's not a big deal, it's,
So they're gonna extend the water main along the right of way, along the road.
oh, I didn't hear that part.
And so it's gonna be a larger line, one, and because it's an extension of a main, they gotta get KDHE approval before and the engineer approval and et cetera, before they add that to the existing water system.
So that way you can fill your trucks too, right there.
Yes,
okay.
yeah, so it'll serve, that larger line will service the fire station to fill the trucks inside the station. And then it'll be connected, reestablish water down to this building, this hydrant at this location.
No, I think we can just turn the water off. You know, it's not gonna be forever, you know,
Correct.
but you need to be thoughtful of, you know, whoever's digging, you better have a plan how to shut it off. And if it feeds something that we don't know it feeds, you know, you may have to, if somebody calls and says they don't have water in their house, because of some crazy ass reason it goes somewhere, you know, you need to have a plan. I mean, we don't have a plan for that, you know, so them diggers
Didn't
up
we
there.
get it when they did the test hole and break it, and did you have to shut off temporarily? And I wasn't here.
I didn't know they hit it. I didn't
Or
know
did
that they cut it. I wasn't told that it was ruptured.
Okay.
Maybe it was, I don't know.
Were you up here, John? Okay.
I know we didn't do a boil, so let's assume it wasn't done. Okay,
So
so,
it's classified as a service line, not a water main, so a service line probably wouldn't have required a boil order.
okay. So answer this question, I say, we'll lock the bathroom. And we'll tag it, we'll make a note out there on the hydrant so folks won't try and water their dog, because there's no water. And then, you know, it'd be nice to get it done, because that's really the number one thing is people using the water their dogs in the winter time.
So the next question then is, where's the shut off? for the-
Don't have any idea, man. No, yeah, I'll call the water department, I mean, they, you know,
Evan,
yeah, you know, we pay a water. We pay a water bill for down here, so I think, where's the meters? The meter out here for this?
Probably out by the road.
Yeah, I don't remember. So I know that it didn't help you with the meters here.
Correct.
So somewhere it connects. I have no idea. You know, you're probably just gonna go back and shut the main valve off and then cap it real quick. And then, anyway, they'll figure it out. I don't know. So we good on that? We're not gonna vote on, it. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Do we need to put a porta potty in or probably
I don't think so.
not?
Not for the winter.
Winter.
I like that.
Thank you.
Is there any comment in the room? Has anybody got a problem with that? I mean, that plan? How about online? Anybody got a problem online? All right. let's play.
Sandra, you were gonna say something?
No,
Okay.
just Providence, RJ, or, excuse me. Stack will probably have a problem with it, that uses the bathroom.
Who?
RJ, this, the guy that uses the bathroom all the time,
Oh, the
Well-
UPS guy or?
yeah.
The water,
Stack.
Oh, wow.
water district guy, he uses our bathroom at work.
Yeah, I mean,
Almost daily.
sorry. We'll post a sign. Hey, so you think you're doing that tomorrow though?
We're
Like,
starting to dig footings tomorrow. I don't know where they're.
Okay.
They'll dig across the back, I'm sure, first, and then move toward the front.
But you're only cutting
Post on
water
Facebook
off if.
that we're shutting it down, you know, just so
Yeah.
people know, and then maybe send an email out. That way everybody knows there's no water down here. Or,
There may not be water.
Hang on,
It
they
only,
only, they got the water.
there'll be water unless he hits the, unless they.
right, but it's gonna be short notice.
Correct.
I'm trying to let people know ahead of time, you know, to be prepared for no water down here. If you take your doggy for a walk and they hit the line, there's not gonna be any water. So we're just notifying that there may, you know, it may be turned off, and if it's off, that's the reason why.
Yeah,
You know, something along that line. Make it
yeah,
make
we might as
sense.
well.
All right.
So
And
the
then-
other issue
Yeah.
is, if you drove by late this afternoon, you saw the contractor has already started tying rebar and stuff. They're off of the buildings, they're off of the county property that was transferred, so. Russell said when you guys had discussed this. We didn't have to stay within the footprint for that construction.
Equipment, yeah, storing
So-
equipment, no problem.
Is there, do you want any boundaries? Do you want to stay on the south side of the building side or stay?
I mean,
Stay
so,
decently as far away from the rental property as
Yeah.
possible.
yeah, so it'd be better to go south than north, so we don't interfere with the rental. And then there's a disc golf pad there, concrete,
Correct.
you know, so don't get on top of that. Other than that, you know, clean it up when you're done, kind of deal.
Yeah, they'll reseed and what, right now it's dry, so they haven't torn anything up.
Yeah,
The first little shot of rain we get, and then they start putting equipment in there, it's gonna be hard on the turf, so.
okay. Then your other thing you want to do, they asked about the pins, about leaving pins above ground for property pins, just bury them.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to mow around them, you guys.
So we should locate those before the wood lats disappear, but I think the survey company should already put pins in.
They did put the two in the middle of the road, I seen them do that.
Okay, we'll have to check on the back two in the lot too then.
You guys are the only people out here that owned in the middle of the road.
Okay,
Apparently, something about the city or the county required that you own to the middle of the road in order to build. I don't know. I was out here and the surveyor was putting pins in with some new requirements, so.
does the county have to blade their half of that section of road?
Yeah.
That might be the problem.
Hey, so while you're here though, did you guys figure out your electricity issue? Or do you know about the electricity issue? All right. It's not a big deal, but you don't have a easement for the utility. I'm just
Oh.
curious. The surveyor was gonna write a new
I
easement.
just heard the 30,000 foot level
Okay,
that, yeah, they were discussing with Evergy how to get power into there. So
okay. Do you have temp power back there now?
I don't know if they're running off generators or what they're doing.
Okay. Okay, cool. Anything else on the firehouse? Hey, when do you think you'll be done?
I have not seen a schedule. I don't know. I've just got involved the end of last week and I know I got engaged in the water line issue just because I know Doug and well, Russell's in New England right now looking at different fire trucks.
Where's he at? The country or the,
Austin. He's going to
Ah.
Canada, going to Canada tomorrow, though, so he's leaving the country tomorrow. Just over the border, but, yeah, they're looking at 3 different fire trucks across the country, so.
so you're gonna get a new one here? A new
Not
fire?
here, no.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking,
Not us. The county will get
okay,
1, 0, 1, 2, or 3.
okay. And then leftover, you know,
They're
could be
used.
used come down this way. All right, cool.
But there is potential, if I'm not mistaken, that we might get a different truck because the capacity of the new building versus what we have now.
Okay,
The new building will be bigger and thus we might be able to get different equipment that we are limited to now based upon the old building.
something built in this century.
Yeah, one of the trucks we wanted to put into this station physically wouldn't fit through the door. In the existing station, and it'll fit through the door on the other station.
Our pumper barely fits the door in this station.
Okay,
So
The pumper used to be on the north side of the building. When we got this truck, we had to move it to the south side because that truck won't go in the north door because of the slope. The light bar hits the top of the door before it can get in the building. That's how close that building fits that truck.
okay, all right, we're good on that. The new flag design, we haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything? So basically, looks like we're keeping the existing flag. We'll pick a different color, add a different year and gen it up. So unless something happens real quick, so there's still a window here, but it's closing quick. So here's a reminder for everybody, the 2022 and prior years Zoom meeting recordings will be deleted on January 1st, 2025. And this is because of the storage capacity issue that we, the community don't want to pay for storing something. If you want those meetings, you need to download them. We do have the minutes, the paper that's required, by Kansas and Open Records Act that is available online and anybody can go look at that. So then the second part of this thing is the Zoom meeting recordings from 2023 will be deleted after February 1st, 2025. And that's gonna happen for the same reason. So we're still pushing it pretty hard. And this board is not gonna go in every month and delete one meeting and add a meeting and delete a meeting. We're not doing that. So we're giving everybody warning. If you want 2023, go get them and save them on your home computer, all of them you want. But, we're gonna delete them all at the same time. So we'll give you another notice next month, as a kind of final, get it done kind of deal. But anyway, let's see, that's it. And if you can't find those meetings, email the board, but basically they're on the website under historic board meetings. So it's pretty simple. Should be, although I don't know how to do it myself. My wife says the same. So next thing, legal discussion. So James Slaymaker and Joanne Zahner met with the UPID lawyer, Joe Knopp. Daniel Maple and her lawyer were also on the premises to facilitate discussions of conciliatory terms on Friday, December the 6th, which was last Friday. The meeting ended with preliminary agreement that Maple will keep the donkey and build a barn outbuilding for the donkey. Paperwork was to be drawn up by the Maple's attorney and then signed by all parties. Documents would then have been sent to HUD prior to the 9 December midnight deadline for review and future enforcement. And that was Monday. Unfortunately, our attorney has not received any documents or communication from Maple's attorney. We are awaiting the next step from HUD. So, any comments in the room? Or anything else on that?
So when you guys met with her, our ask was for the shed. Did she have any requirements or asks from her side?
No. No.
Was the stipulation that it be the one donkey and no more?
I mean, it's not signed yet, and apparently it's not even close to being signed because there's no final document, so. It's the donkey that's there now, Carrot,
Period.
Well, I mean, as period as anything is, that's what the document said, but there is no document, so it doesn't matter. Whatever we agreed on, without a signed document to send to HUD, there's nothing.
But per Riley County regulations and the land that she currently owns, without buying and assembling additional land, she's stuck with one livestock hooked in.
Which is up to the county to enforce, not us.
And
So we,
Rita Casa, Briar Lane, I'm on the planning commission, and we did pass a, change in the land development regulations that, hooked animals are not allowed in the zoning district. I think she might be SF1, I'd have to check her zoning district going
That's
forward.
correct.
So she's legally non-conforming for that one donkey.
okay,
So they're not going to enforce it because it's legally non-conforming, so there's nothing to enforce from the county.
okay, so you guys passed it. Has the county commissioner signed that
I
document?
believe so.
Okay, 'cause
I would have to confirm that I was understanding they did.
if you could let me know.
I'll double check, but I believe that it all got it, like we passed it and I think county commission
Okay.
passed it.
Yeah, if you could check that. So then I don't actually, I'm the only guy that don't know. I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean they're not going to enforce legally non-conforming? What do you mean there? What, you saying it's grandfathered in? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's the same word as grandfather.
Okay,
The technical
really
term
technical
is-
way you're saying it.
The technical term is legally non-conforming.
Got it. Well, I'm a simple man, so
Grandfather.
grandfather.
You
thing
don't
is-
find that in the county land development ordinance.
Okay,
It won't, that wording doesn't exist.
so then that basically means now that no one in University Park can get livestock on their property. Is that, do I understand that correctly?
If everybody's the same zoning, unless there's a rogue ag tract or something.
Got it.
In Lakeside Heights, there is, but not within University Park. We're all SF1.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, so anyway, that was passed several months ago by the planning commission. I don't know when the county did it, but I can find out.
Okay, I appreciate
also
that.
means if this specific donkey goes away, no other donkey fourth of the row can replace it.
Yes,
Yeah, the nice thing about that is in anything in the future, the University Park Board community will not have to handle the financial burden of enforcing this thing. It'll be the county's job to enforce it. So
Right.
this will never come up for us again. This is it. So good for us, huh? Yay. All right. Anything online? So, Ms. Maples, do you have any input on the signing of the document? All right. I think that is it for that. All right, next, new business. Request from the UP renter. They've been in there for a couple of years now, and they didn't not want any pet when they moved in, but they have decided that they would now like to have a pet. And when the rent was set up, it was set up for no pet. And there have been pets in that thing since it was remodeled back by the Kurt, Bob Bathauer and Dave Cheezick, way back when. There's been 3 different renters in there. All 3 of them have had pets, period. So, it's they're not asking an unreasonable thing.
We're talking about a dog. When you say pet, we're talking about a dog.
Excuse me?
A dog.
Yeah, apologize. Yeah, I didn't know that, but I didn't say it. Yeah, it is a dog. It is a dog. It's a young dog. It is it doesn't matter. It's a dog. It's not a pit bull. It's not a vicious dog, kind of on the vicious dog breed. So I'm good. What I recommend we do is how we manage our rentals is $50 a month pet rent that is non-refundable, and then there is a pet deposit of, which is half the rent, $750, which is refundable if there isn't damage. And we've talked to them, explained what, our thought, what we would want if the board agrees, and the renters are good for that. They're okay with that. So, what do you guys, anything in the community on it? I mean, I have dogs. We all have dogs. Some of you got extra dogs, I know. Not you guys.
one dog.
Yeah, you only have one, actually. Anything?
I have no issue with it.
Okay.
I don't even-
Okay, so any comments online about it? Good, shouldn't be. So do I hear a motion to approve the renters to have a dog with the $50 a month increase and the,
I motion
$750.
that we approve the renters to have a dog and make the stated amendments to the lease.
is that?
I second it. All in favor?
All in favor?
I
Okay, so renters are approved to have the dog with the amended changes that we talked about. Cool. Okay, so then, yes,
Did you want
Who are you?
to talk about, I'm Carla Slangmaker.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about kenneling or no?
oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually would prefer that they kennel, it's a pup, or it's a young dog, less than a year old, and it's a rental, and I get in there sometimes to work on the rental, and I don't want to have to deal with a dog, so I am gonna request that they keep this thing kennel trained. And we'll do a lease amendment, a pet addendum for the lease, that's something that we will gin up and give to them. It's gonna be in there saying that, so any problem with that? Okay. So the last thing here is discuss the repair or replacement of the Hayward Park sign. So the sign there at Hayward Park, it just says, what's it say? doesn't say Kenneth, or says Haywood, Kenneth Haywood, but doesn't say Park, or it
I
says
think the park fell off.
Mhm.
the park fell off.
The park.
Okay, so this 2-3 years ago, the park fell off and it ended up down the dump. And I seen it and I grabbed it and I have it at my house. And there was a couple of community members, a couple of years ago or a year ago, said they wanted to rebuild the sign. And we said, great, rebuild the sign. How much you want, you know, meaning materials, and it didn't get done. So I still have that board in my shop, and what we need is somebody who wants to rebuild the sign. I'm not gonna rebuild the sign while I'm on the board. If the thing's not rebuilt next year, when I'm off the board, I can rebuild the sign, but I'm not gonna do it while I'm on the board. I got too much other stuff for the community, so. So please, if you're interested in rebuilding that sign, let us know. And, you know, we can buy the materials and figure out how to get it done, you know? So yes, we'd like to get that done. Any comments? I mean, do you think we need the sign, don't need the sign? It's kind of silly now, it doesn't say it's a park, so we probably need to take it down or fix it. I prefer to fix it, is what I would do. If you didn't know, Kenneth Haywood was actually the guy working for the K-State Alumni Association who kind of set this whole thing up. And he got his name on the park. Yes,
Rita Catherine of Briar Lane.
thank you.
I have no idea how we did it, but Kenneth Hayward put the cabin, part of our house on our lot, drug it down Briar Lane or somehow got it there from like our front door to the garage.
Wow.
And so I kind of like that the park's there just so we have a tie to it.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I
Did he
think,
donate a lot of the land?
no, he's not the farmer.
The K-State Foundation.
Yeah, nobody knows who the farmer is who gave all the land to K-State, just the guy who ran it for K-State. That's the only guy we know.
Yeah, all right.
It's kind of funny how that works out. So anyway, so please let us know, let the board know if you're interested.
How big are the letters?
I would say they're 5 to 6 inches. And it's like routed out, you know, rough cut.
I've got a quarter sheet CNC writing table.
Okay, now that gets
Very
easy.
easy to do something with that.
Okay. All right,
I need to know what needs to be cut though.
It's in 3 sections right now, so Kenneth Haywood Park is each its own section, so just the park section fell off.
like 2x12s kind of deal, rough cut
You may
2x12.
want to take a look at the whole sign to verify if you're gonna do one.
You might as well do all of them.
Tell you what, next time you're out, you just, if you're gonna be tomorrow, just,
The table size is 2 feet by 4 feet, so I can't put anything bigger than 2 feet by 4
But they're
feet.
sections.
yeah,
So okay. 3 lines, 3 section, we could go up to 6 feet by 4 feet.
We're glad you're here tonight.
yeah. You can come to all meetings. Thank you for volunteering. Okay, and then, okay, any other comments from the community in the room here? Any comments online?
Ethan and Krista, did you want to mention about the cat?
The cat sagas again.
They found a 3-legged black.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, this is Krista Sylvester. We found a 3-legged black cat tonight in our driveway. It's very friendly. It has what appears to be a flea collar. So we are holding it in our shop and giving it food and water. But if anyone knows who owns this cat, please reach out to us on Facebook or Joanne, I can message you and give you my number if someone happens to contact the board about it as well.
Sure, and will you be posting on Facebook? I forgot, post a picture of a cat, except the description's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yes,
Related.
I did post tonight on Facebook. I posted a picture and a description, so
Okay, super.
hopefully someone knows what's going on.
Thank you for being so nice to it.
thank you. Okay, so, I'm gonna bring it down here, but so I recommend that we leave the meeting open for an executive session.
I motion that we adjourn the general public meeting and leave the meeting open for an executive session.
I second.
Yeah,
All opposed, or I mean, all for, approved,
In favor?
in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, passes. We're gonna leave it open for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I forgot.
we-